Fine, thanks, and you?
Good, thank you. Just a brief background on Reuel Leach. He's a resident but independent commodity trading specialist. And of course he is a Silver Chief member, but of course he is his own entity, and he'll give you a little bit of a background on that also. Evening, Reuel.
Good evening, everybody. I just need to see that I've got my presentation up and not the markets that I've been studying. I've been sitting in front of the screen almost all day. Fortunately, with the lockdown, the unfortunate part is that a person can sit all day and make your bum wider, and instead of taking some walks and doing some exercise. So can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Great. All right, there's some, I wouldn't say it's exciting stuff to share, but hopefully everybody of you are going to take notes tonight, because if you don't take notes, you might miss some of the stuff that's very important. And as a trader, studying the markets now for the last 5 years, and I check the Dow Jones every day. I check the S&P. I check the JSE, which has fallen by 50% since 2019, the beginning of 2019. The Rand has fallen by 50% since the 2018 beginning. It's crazy. I mean, if you want to know really what the Rand value has become, is up until now we've monitored by looking at the petrol price. But that's going to change, because the petrol price is the only thing that's going to become cheaper. And then, of course, the US dollar to Rand, I'm actually going to go and discuss different commodity prices for all of you to weigh up your options. So what I'm going to discuss with you is not financial advice. It's not telling you what to do with your money. It's telling you what I am doing with my money. It's an educational program, and I have an educational program where I teach people how to make money with their present money without giving their money to someone else. I think the biggest mistake that people make today is they don't trust themselves with their money, so they give their money to the bank or another trader or a network marketing company to make more for them. And I don't think that's what Silver Chief had in mind when he started his business. So just a little bit of my background. I have the background of being a salesman, a pastor, and a trader. So you can put that at PST or whatever. And that's my background over the years. And if you had asked me maybe a year, if you asked me about a few years ago, did I need Silver Chief? I would have said, yes, I need Silver Chief. I need something to make me rapid income. And I can honestly tell you now today that when I looked at Silver Chief, it wasn't something that I had to do. It's something I wanted to do. So there's a difference in the approach that I'm going to discuss tonight. But everybody is in either stage of 1 to 10 as far as your finances are concerned. Your emotions is a scale also of 1 to 10. Maybe it's 3 or 2. Maybe you want to kill someone. Maybe you want to marry someone. Maybe there's lots of emotions that are going through. They said the Department of Health actually wants to do an experiment where they want to teach people social distancing. And they need 7 couples that have been married for 10 years or more. And guys, you know what I'm busy talking about, but for the experiment. Anyway, so let's go through the slides. And let's see, my mouse isn't working very lucky here tonight. Let's use the down arrow. Great. So yeah, there are signs when any economy collapses, and we have had until the last 2 or 3 years ago, we've had single economies collapsing. So we've heard of Greece, we've heard of Venezuela, and we know of Zimbabwe. And there's different economies in different parts of the world that collapse because of issues with Americans or the issues with the way their policies, and Iran, all of these economies singularly collapsing. But now we have something that is causing a lot of economies to collapse. In fact, the American economy has taken a 30% drop since March till now. So if you look at the economies, the rand has collapsed 39% since January. So when we're looking at different economies, we need to have a look at the power of your currency. What is the power of your currency? What can your currency buy you? And there's certain things that the government does or that happens in the economy that, and I think I discussed some of this last week, where you have water restrictions, where you have, in fact, some of the greatest civilizations shut down and the people left to other countries because of water shortage. So if you think water isn't a problem or food isn't a problem, you need to rethink your thinking. So when government starts printing large amounts of cash, and that's what we see all the major banks in the world, this is what they're doing. The South African Reserve Bank has been told to print 50 billion rand 2 weeks ago. This is what happened in Zimbabwe. So with my living in Zimbabwe, I saw the amount of cash that was printed and the amount of bags of cash you had to carry to go and to do shopping, and that all of them had money counting machines because it would take too long to count the money. So when you see regulations or epidemics, lockdowns, curfews, prices increasing, and people getting punished as the prices are increasing, then you know also scarcity starts. So I went to a shop yesterday and I bought a few things, and it was like every second and third shelf is empty, especially your starches, your oil, your maize meal. Those are the kind of things that are getting scarce at the moment. So if you're not stocking up on that kind of thing, you are in trouble, because you might not be able to get it in the next 3, 4, 5 months. So if something is cheap and it's a basic commodity, it is essential that you and someone else go and buy. If you're only restricted to a certain amount to buy, make sure that you've got other people buying. So what I'm saying is not to create panic. It's to create a sense of a security, because security is some of the stuff I'm going to discuss tonight that is very important for all of us. So what you normally see happening, and we see this right now happening in the economy, that the news is causing panic. We must switch off the news, we must switch off Facebook, we must switch off all the, I did myself a favor the other day, and all these groups of, I used to live in Pretoria, and I've taken myself off all these Facebook groups because of the negativity that's going on. It's like putting a bunch of wolves in a cage and they're like, they're just killing each other on social media and causing a lot of trouble. So when you see police and army on the streets, when you see them abusing power, see videos, all of that, basic commodities prices rise and cash becomes less. ATM will be a problem in the future. Fortunately, for people that are using electronic cash, electronic money, and can move that money quickly in and out of the system, they don't have to panic about stuff like that. But people who live on cash from day to day, people that go and buy from a shop that only accepts cash, you're going to be in trouble soon if you don't have enough cash. And your cash is devaluating at the rate of, I worked it out, what was that? It was something that we bought 2 weeks ago that is devalued by 23% already. So everything you've bought now, in a month's time, would probably be double the price. And then next month it will be double that. if you're lucky. I mean, it could be 4 times the price. So we're going to start seeing massive inflation in stuff that, and here's the problem. When people buying stuff, especially from overseas, electronics and laptops and stuff like that, they have to buy, when they sell an item to you, when they buy it back, they're going to pay more than what they sold it to you for. So that means they have to sell it to you at higher the price that they're going to buy it back for, calculating hyperinflation. And this is what happened in Venezuela. They had on the shelves that electronic ticker underneath each item, which the price was changing so you had to rush to the till, because by the time you reached the till, your inflation had gone up 1 or 2%. So that's a kind of thing we need to start considering. When we see ransacking and looting and black marketeering happening, if you look at the prices of cigarettes, I mean, it's astronomical. People are paying 500 Rand a carton of cigarettes. So all of this stuff becomes then more and more people are doing illegal stuff. More and more people are trying to earn money, trying to think ahead, trying to survive. And at the end of the day, it all comes to survival. Every one of us wants to survive. So I said to my wife last night, if you were thrown in the bush 150, 200 Ks from any civilization, what are the first things you would start doing? Besides breathing, of course, but at least you know that comes naturally. First thing is you would try and build a shelter. You would try and look for food. You would try and protect yourself, get spear or something to fight with. There are some basic things that we all need. Shelter, food, security. And whatever you and I have now is just maybe an advanced form of that. Just think of it. You might have a better house, better security, and more food. All of us are living basic survival techniques. And some of us are just breathing easier with what we've got. So protection is very important. So what is the basic protection? Roof over your head, food to eat for 3 to 6 months. Have you got 3 to 6 months of food? Blankets, clothing, safety gates. Have you got safety? Backup plan. What you would do if somebody comes into your house at night? Are you ready for that? Weapons. I don't say you need to go and buy guns, but baseball bats and stuff like that. Very, very good weapons. Your bed mattress is actually a very good protection against no gunshot will go through unless it's a sniper rifle. It will go through a mattress, so you can protect yourself. So petrol in your car if you need to leave at short notice. All of that kind of stuff is important. And then obviously friends you can trust, because if you go and look at in any countries where there's problems, people have to know who they can trust. They must know who they can go to in times of trouble. So you want something that is above level, that is safety related. Have a safe haven. Have a place where you can withdraw to, even if it's in a part of your house. Basic safety drills. Have a safety drill between you and your spouse. It's important that you know what to do, when to do it, and you could even know where all your items are that are of value to you, that you can get out quickly, or that you can store it safely. Your bank cards, you know where they are. And then of course taking stock of your assets. All of us have assets, and I know I've listened to the Silver Chief the presentation many times, and I'm wondering how many of you people are thinking, I'm thinking about this. Maybe I should wait until times are really tough and then I will start doing something about this. Let's see how things go. Maybe things will go better. Things don't go better on their own, because life is like rust. If you don't keep on maintenance, everything starts falling apart. So what you don't do today means double of what you have to do tomorrow. So Look at what your assets are in the bank. And we're going to discuss the rand and whether it's a valuable asset to hold or not. Digital assets. What digital assets? Have you got any cryptocurrencies? Do you have any insurances or annuities or I'm not going to tell you home loan extra, taking out extra on your home loan, but safety deposit boxes. What have you got in safety deposits packed away? Have you got gold and jewelry? Gold and silver jewelry are worth something. Put it away. Put it where you can access it quickly if needed. And any valuables, electronic items, you're going to need extra power bank, charged power banks, cables. All of that stuff is just for short notice. But not only that, if the power starts getting cut, I know we haven't had power outages in Cape Town, but someone told me the other day that in Durban they're still having power outages. What do you do when there's a power outage and you need to call someone? Are you ready for that kind of thing? So see what assets you can make liquid immediately, short notice. Some of us are holding onto that money in the bank, and that money in the bank is depreciating, and I'm going to show you how quickly it's depreciating. Assets that you can buy, like food. If you can buy extra food now, go and buy it, and go on a day when it's overcast and raining, because then there's less people, there's less queues, and you can go get stock up on stuff. Buy extra Ziploc bags that you can put stuff in, so that the mites don't get into the bags. Look at what old silver coins you've got. All the old silver coins pre-1977, especially the old 1 Rand coins, had 80% silver in. All the old tikkies, there's a whole lot of coins that have had silver in. And those coins, even some of if you had I think it's a 1939 tikkie, which is worth 15,000 Rand. You can get up to 30,000 Rand for that tikkie. It's like 1 gram of silver. That's crazy that you have assets that you don't even know about, and you can actually liquidate those assets very quickly. Look at your nutrition. Make sure that you're healthy. You're doing some exercise, that you're having nutrition. Don't let because you're sitting all day, not take your nutrition, because we need to be healthy. If you need to walk 10 kilometers, would you be able to walk 10 Ks now? So have a look, make sure that you got enough internet. If you're buying bundles every 2 or 3 days, then you've got you don't understand internet. You need to have proper internet bundles that your internet can last. So let's go through a few of the most important assets that the world looks at right now. Whether you look at it or not, this is what I would be looking at. So there we have the Rand, 13 Rand 92 January, and it went to 19 Rand 35 in the other day. So it dropped a little bit, or it's appreciated a little bit, but that's 39% devaluation since January. So that's, if the end of April, when I put this 39% up, that was 3 months, that 13% devaluation per month. So if you've joined a scheme that's giving you less than 13% per month, you're devaluating your asset. If you've got your money in some, and here's the sad part. In Zimbabwe, where people had their money in pensions or they had them in annuity and stuff, in the small print of all these little things is they don't tell you that they can appreciate when times of trouble come. So if you had to stop paying these schemes, you would probably be able to use that money to make yourself some more money. So 39%, if you're not earning 50 to 100% a month in something or else, then you are going backwards. You will have to think of being very constructive in the way you do business. So some of us that don't have funds, we need to find things around the house. Maybe it's a car that you don't need, or furniture or something. You need to start getting that into an electronic form so that you can get it into US dollars. So that's what I'm helping my traders do at the moment, is to get their funds into US dollars. At least then, as the rand appreciates, your funds, your US dollars, so it's going equal. It's keeping an equal amount. So let's look at the gold price quickly. What I've done is I've taken the gold price and I've taken the silver price in the same time frame. So the gold price has made this huge cup over the last few years, and it's almost at the end of the cup. So at $1,706, it's about $1,725 right now. The cup ends at 1,800, 1,900, it makes a dip and it goes further up. So it's almost at the end of its cup now. So 1,800 to 2,000 is about 10% that the gold price can go up now. 10%. Yay. So if you've got gold, great. If you bought gold a year or 2 or 3 ago, you've got a great asset. If you buy gold now, 10% is what you can earn on your gold. And then the price will drop. So let's have a look at silver. So there's the silver price. It's at the bottom of the cup. It's doing exactly what gold does. It's always lagging behind. So silver price fell to $11. It's increased. It's almost $15 right now. And its end of its cup is about $49 US. So that's a rough estimate. But if you look at the silver coins that we bought the other day, we bought our silver coins at 400 Rand, and the price now of a silver coin is 1,000 Rand, which gives it the equivalent of 50 odd US dollars. So the real market price is not the paper price that you're seeing here. It's the price is already at the end of the cup. So when the markets start opening, guess what's going to happen to the silver price? Whatever you pay for the silver now, whether it's 400 Rand an ounce, you're going to be getting 1,000, 1,200, 1,600 Rand an ounce of silver if you had to sell it in the next 2 or 3 months. So that's a great asset to have. In fact, all your poor countries, like especially where there's poor areas like India, there's massive poor, massive rich areas, and the poor people hold silver. They put it under their mattress, they put it under their bed, they store it, they hoard it. They say as soon as the government releases any forms of silver, it disappears into the community because they know that's worth more than the money, the physical cash. So silver has the greatest opportunity of any physical asset that you have now. We know that having property now, nobody's buying property. Nobody knows what is certain to buy. If you want to buy a property, you want to look for a country where there's no troubles and economic crisis and stuff like that. Let's take a look at the Bitcoin price. Now, I've taken Bitcoin from the day it started until right now, and I'm going to do 2 projections. I'm going to do a projection, what we call a resistance line projection, and then I'm going to do a Fibonacci projection. And they seem to have fallen on the same area where the price is going to end in the next year by September next year. This is what I believe is going to happen. So we have 2 resistance lines. I drew 2 on the 2 bull markets that are projected up over the tops, and we end up between the $33,000 and the $36,000 range. You can work that out. That's about 7.2 million, 7 million Rand a Bitcoin. Then we have basically a Fibonacci pull on that screen, and the Fibonacci ends at a conservative $31,600 a Bitcoin. And you know what the exciting thing is? You can buy it and hold it. You can see how low the price is at the moment. And why is Bitcoin going to do so well? Is because almost everyone is using this blockchain technology at the moment. And Bitcoin is not centralized by anyone. When Mark Zuckerberg came with his, and I was thinking when Chris was talking about Mark Zuckerberg, those 2 guys are billionaires today, but they wouldn't have been billionaires if they didn't sue him. So the one amazing thing about Bitcoin, if you own it, it's yours, and you can trade it up and down. or you can just buy and hold it. So that is my projection for the next 6 to 12 months on Bitcoin. I have traders that are sitting right now in the economic crisis. I had one said this morning, I've just scrapped part of his name. I know he's on the call tonight. He said in 14 days he's made 43% on his trading. So the markets on the cryptocurrencies are positively growing a great deal at the moment. So just as I think I would rather, instead of talking a lot more, I want to rather hear what questions you guys have got and discuss them. Yeah.
Oh, thanks, Reuel. Just one thing on the Bitcoin. Is it because it's finite? Does it also hold the value like silver and gold, where there's a finite amount of it? And Bitcoin is in the same thing, that it's not infinite like paper money.
Yes. So we have 21 million Bitcoins that will be made by the year 2021-30, and 16 million have been made of the 21 million. So there's only a certain amount. And then like gold and silver, there's just a certain amount in the world. They know that by 2032, so that's 100 years before Bitcoin will be finished, gold will be finished, and silver will be finished in the next 40, 50 years. In fact, the silver, no one's mining silver at the moment because they're not getting, it's not worthwhile, they're mining. So anything that's short in supply, its price is bound to go up. But like the dollars, they are just printing dollars like you can't believe.
Okay, fantastic. Ilse, have you got anything, Chris?
I've unmuted given everybody an option to unmute themselves if they want to ask questions.
Fantastic.
So let's see. I think people heard enough from me and Chris.
Yeah, so okay, let's open it up onto the group. I mean, there's 55 people still on the call, and again, thank you. This is time. It's now 9:30 at night, so it shows you the importance of where we are right now. If you would like to ask any questions, please, guys, this is an opportunity. And of course, as you can see, I mean, the stuff that Reuel went through now is just it's scary in some sense, but it's also empowering to have this information. Because that's the benefit, is when you know where things are going and you prepare, that's the key here. And again, thank you, Reuel.
Yeah, thank you. And while I wait for the questions, I just want to mention on that note is that I don't like negative news. I don't like listening to negative people because there's no time. And if somebody tells me I'm bored, then you're obviously prepared. You obviously have everything in place, and you've got millions in rands and bank and silver and bitcoins. But I don't think we have that luxury at the moment. I asked a question to my wife last night, and it took a while to get the answer out of her because she wasn't understanding. What's the biggest luxury that we all have? And that's time. We all have 24 hours, whether we're rich or we're poor, but it's what we do with the time. And what we put value to that time is how others will pay us for that time. So if you've got a way of monetizing yourself during the lockdown, you are going to make money. But if you don't make a plan and you're just sitting and panicking all the time, I mean, every one of us have value to us. Maybe you are worth 5 billion rand or dollars, but you don't believe it, so you're never going to make it. So how are you going to monetize your brains? That's why you need to keep yourself healthy. You might not have the luxury of having millions of rands in the bank, but at least you can start thinking out the box. I think this COVID-19 has brought such a change, a lot of changes in the world. We are still imagining to go to the old normal. There's no more old normal. Ilse mentioned that earlier. There's going to be a new normal, the way we're going to do business. You're not going to hug and kiss everyone like you did in the past. I mean, you're first going to breathe. Now we can. That's a little ridiculous, but things are going to be different. Okay, so I've got a question.
Yes,
How does this work?
we've got 2 questions and we've got
Yeah.
Paul live wanting to ask a question.
How's it, guys? Yeah, no, all that I want to say is thanks, Chris, thanks, Ilse, thanks, Dion, thanks, Reuel. Fuck, I love this thing. I love it. Everybody must just understand. Look at Chris laughing at me again. He always laughs at me when I'm talking because I'm so passionate about this. Guys, you have no idea what this company can do for you. Man, it's changed my entire outlook on life. But anyway, my thing that I wanted to say is, instead of opening everybody's calls, if everybody on the thing, you'll see if you click on your screen, there's a little hand that says raise your hand. Okay, then we're not going to have an influx of everybody just speaking the whole time.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Thanks, Paul. There we
Great.
go.
Thanks, Paul.
And then, Reuel, you see Amanda Lee's question and Glenn's question. So let's go there, and then I'll check the hand raising.
All right, so understand better to put my money in US dollars, but how does it help if US dollar is losing value due to printing, and what if the US dollar dies? All right, so it's a very good question because everybody knows that the US dollar has depreciated by 97% in the last 100 years, but it's taken 100 years to depreciate 97%. The rand has taken 3 months, 4 months to depreciate 39%. So what I normally tell people is hedge. You take what you've got and put it in US dollars, and while it's in US dollars, you decide then what to do. Then you look at it, because anytime you make a rash decision, nobody wants to make a sudden decision. My traders, when we in a bull market, some of you know about 2017, the price of Bitcoin went high, sky high, and then I warned the traders, 20th of December, get out. Other guys are just buying. And this is what happened is the guys sold to US dollars and waited for the markets to fall flat, and then they bought low again. So your US dollar, let's talk about US dollar or the rand to Zim dollar, because we don't work with US dollars in South Africa. When I went to Zimbabwe, the first time I got 170 Zim dollars to 1 rand, and when I left, it was 3 billion Zim dollars to 1 rand 5 years later. So from 170 to 3 billion for 1 rand. That is massive devaluation. So if your salary is depreciated by 30, 50, whatever percent, that shows that's depreciation in your earning and your earnings already. So you need to find a way to get your salary to normal and then double that every month. So US dollar is the first way to go. So if you got, let's say, rands, and you can put it into an exchange where you can keep dollars for now until you make the decision what you want to do, you can still bring the rands back, the dollars back, and cash it out in rands. Hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, I can help you with that.
Reuel, just on that also, with the way the world's going right now, with all the social funding that the governments are doing, or relief funding, of course, one of the fiat currencies will remain stronger than the rest, and it probably is naturally the dollar.
The dollar and the euro. So what I believe is, because we've been overseas a few times, every time I come back, I keep the dollars and the euros. Euros are definitely one of the currencies that will also crash because of the Europe is probably one of the most unstable continents over the last few hundred years, with all the pandemics and wars and stuff, but still they have stronger currencies than us. So if you can hold the physical dollars, you can buy the physical dollars. Now, I shouldn't be telling you this. It's not legal according to, but that's the way the world will be going.
Okay, fantastic. Any other questions? Okay, I think, Reuel, I don't know if you want to just wrap it up, and then I think it's nearly 10 o'clock in South African time. So, yeah, if you don't mind just wrapping up and giving your closing thoughts.
Everyone needs to go and speak to their partner, their spouse, their stikkie, their boetie, their whatever. They need to get their act together and have a serious chat, even if you do it before you fall asleep at night. We could go to bed together once in a blue moon and go and say, let's just discuss these things together, because we need to decide what we're going to do if something happens. And I'm not going to say it's going to happen now. We might have a change of presidency, or we might have some serious stuff happening in the next while. And you need to just say, all right, we need to have this, we need to agree on this before that happens, because if that happens, we can't have a discussion or an argument. We need to be in place. And then second thing is buy silver, buy Bitcoin. Don't buy gold. If you want to buy gold, great. You're going to pay astronomical prices and it's not going to be worth your while.
Okay, great. Okay, Reuel, thanks a million. As far as Reuel, you will be again on Thursday night with another topic, which we'll of course spread through the different WhatsApp groups. Again, I mean, there's 47 people on the call, and it's showing you the importance of where we are right now and the seriousness of what Reuel has actually gone, and he's really given a good backing to what Silver Chief is about as a business. Just in closing, please get back to the person that put you on this call. I think, it's important that there is this facility that's now available, and you can see there's many passionate people on that truly are passionate about what we are doing as a business. In closing, Ilse, do you have anything to say?
I just thank you very much to everybody, yourself, Chris, Reuel, for sharing this information, to bringing it under people's attention, and for everybody staying up late at night. It's, what do they say? Knowledge is wisdom, and is power. So there's a lot of information that was shared. I think a lot for people to think about, and good luck with the decisions that need to be made. And we hope to see you as part of the Silver journey. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Ilse. And Chris, in closing?
Yeah, I'd just like to say thank you to everybody for being on the call tonight. And, keep in mind, we have Zoom calls every single night available. We're here to serve you. That's what the leaders are here for. And we're just trying to make it as easy as possible for everybody. It's a big change that we've all gone through. I must admit, when a week before lockdown, I had very high anxiety, because I thought, how are we going to get the message of silver out to the people? Because we used to do public presentations. So when it came to Zoom, I was so out of my comfort zone, you do not want to know. My first Zoom call, I think I messed it up so badly. But you've got to adjust, and you learn how to do it. And I mean, how easy is this? You don't have to get in your car. You don't have to fight in traffic. You can watch a presentation like this in the comfort of your own home. And we've got about 24 Zoom meetings odd per week. So we share this information on the group with everybody, and let's support it, and let's build this together. Have an awesome night. Thank you, everybody.
Awesome. Chris, you just need to smile like Paul. Now we can't hear his voice.